Good morning, everybody. We are officially in Christmas week. Can you believe it? I cannot. Um, so much to do, so little time. This year has flown by. Flown by. I just want to talk to you guys about a couple things today. Two things we're going to talk about they kind of go together, and then we're going to talk a little bit about your goal setting and that kind of thing for the upcoming year. So something that I have heard a couple different people say, and this is going to be something that you have to decide by yourself. Your sponsors, your coaches, your mentors, they might not agree with this. But I've heard some people take this position on this, and I'm like, I do feel like it would work for some people. I do feel like I am one of those people. So I want to share this thought with you, and then you kind of decide, like, is that good for me? Does that work for me? Will that benefit me, or will that kind of actually set me back? So something that we talk about is like your IPA sheets or your DMOs, like your daily method of operations. And doing them every single day. Like, this is my IPA. This is what I have to get done today. So what I see happens is, and even with me, sometimes I'm type A. So I am very like super hard on myself. I'm very much a rule follower. Like, if this is what I'm supposed to do today, if I don't do this, then want, right? I beat myself up. I get down on myself. So especially for holiday time of the year, something that we can do as an option, and this might be something that works for you all year round, is turning the daily method of operation, your DMO, into a WMO, weekly method of operation. So what that would look like is, rather than every single day having a punch list of like, these are the things I need to get done, you expand that into a week. And it kind of can give some people grace. Other people will get too lackadaisical because they're like, oh, it's like the kid with the homework, right? Like, I've got till the end of the month for the book report. It's totally fine. And then on the 29th, we're reading 172 pages and writing a 3-page paper. Like, some people it won't work for, but follow with me if you think this might help you, especially in busy times of the year. Okay. So let's take my day yesterday, for instance. I had to go in the morning, which I knew it's in my planner. I had to go to the school and help with the Christmas shop in the morning. I did not realize that I was going to be at the school for 4 hours. Okay. Like, I thought this was going to be like an hour, like, get these kids through this thing. Like, we're moving on. 4 hours later, zero food. I leave school with a slamming headache, an 11-month-old, and 4 hours that I've now lost. So I came home, had to get him food, got me food. I could barely function. My head hurt so bad. Then if you're in the runner rally sleigh group thing for the month, Keith Callahan did a call. Megan was like, hey, Keith will be on it too. I'm like, I can barely hold my head up, but I will do this, right? And then last night, our schedule was booked. We had 4-H stuff. So all that to say, there was a wrench thrown in my day, and it was time to go to bed. And I'm like, I have so much that did not get done today for business. Like, what is happening? And I didn't work out because I woke up with a little bit of a headache. Now I'm behind in my business, and I'm tired because I have felt terrible all day. So now I'm beating myself up. I'm like, well, today's gone. Tomorrow literally is 7 days to Christmas, right? We start the negative talk, and it's loud. So something that is beneficial is taking your daily method of operation and turning it into a weekly method of operation. So I sit down like Sunday night, okay? And I'm like, okay, this is what my planner looks like. I've got all of this stuff that needs to get accomplished. What is the punch list? Okay. What does that look like? What do we need to do to stay on task this week? And I give myself a week to get it all done. So it might be on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I'm going to do lives, or I'm going to talk in my stories, and I'm going to do my reach outs. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I'm going to do regular posts. I'm going to do follow-ups. I'm going to do coaching calls on Tuesdays. I'm going to do like, rather than every day, these are all the things I do all my follow-up, just kind of like batch your week with your tasks. I find that very beneficial, especially in holiday seasons, right? Around the holidays, because listen, we want to take time off. Thanksgiving is a good example, right? We've got Wednesdays, the kids, if you have kids, they're a half day usually, right? Thursdays, they're off. Friday's Black Friday. Nobody wants to show up Friday morning and work. Now it's Saturday, right? So it's like I've turned one holiday into 5 or 6 days. So how many days behind are you on work? Where if you can evaluate your business in the present and say, okay, what is going to serve me this month? What does my schedule look like? You can turn your DMOs into a WMO and still get the same work accomplished, but you're not going to have the negative head trash self-taught because Tuesday went to crap and now Susie's got something tomorrow and then there's a party at school and then you've got your work Christmas party and now it's the weekend and now it's Christmas Eve. Like, you're not going to be able to beat yourself up when something happens and the day doesn't go as planned because you have a weekly snapshot of the punch list. This may not work all the time. You may be a daily punch list person and you can stick with that, and that is totally fine. And if it is working for you and you can get through the more difficult seasons of life or the holidays, keep doing that. But for me, this is a way for me to kind of, I even called yesterday because I didn't work out. Like I was immediately beating myself up. Now I'm behind. I even thought to myself, and this is the athlete in me. And if you're into sports, you understand. I literally thought, well, I could do 2 a day tomorrow. And that would make up for what I didn't do yesterday. Like, that was my immediate thought. And it's like, it's kind of like a punishment, right? Like, well, I didn't do it, so I got to do 2 days today. Like, I was negative self-talk. Like, I didn't do it. Now I'm behind. And I'm like, you know what? It was a day of grace. I didn't feel good. I'm allowed to not feel good. It's okay to not feel good. It's okay to say, hey, I didn't work out today. And you know what? That's fine. Because yesterday is gone. Yesterday's gone. It's over. There's nothing I can do about the way that the day went. Like, it was a day of grace. And there's going to be times in your business where you have to be like, today was a freaking wash. Day of grace. Day of grace. But I'm going to do what I need to tomorrow. So if you're finding it hard to tackle the punch list in the busy seasons and the crazy seasons of life, take that DMO, turn it into a week. And then you can delegate, Mondays, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, I'm going to do this. Wednesday, I'm going to do this, rather than feeling like, okay, now I'm behind. Now I'm behind. All right. Next thing I want to talk about, especially around the holidays. So between now and New Year's is a very weird time in network marketing, right? I think everybody would understand. We are in crunch mode. And it's like, okay, I've noticed on my social media engagement is changing, what people are reacting to. Like, it's getting weird. Okay. So this is what I want to remind you. It used to be like Black Friday deals started. Okay. Now it's like 2 weeks before Black Friday, deals are starting. There has been deals and specials running now for a month on everything. Okay. So it's really easy to fall into like, we've got all this stuff. I've got free resets and we've got dollar membership, right? People have been seeing deals and sales for a month and Christmas is still not here yet. So what I want to remind you is, make sure you're following like 80-20 on your page. Add the value first, share the deal second. The value is going to win you over every single time. That relationship is going to win you over every single time. They see the graphics. They know you have free resets. If we're being honest, and your coaches might kill me for this, There might start becoming a freeze on signups between Friday and Christmas. Okay. Like it's just going to happen. People are going to put the brakes on. They're scrambling with money. They're trying to figure it out. They're looking and focusing on everyone else in the next couple of days. There may be a freeze. That does not mean we stop adding value, because that's really what we're here for. The sales are the secondary. We're adding the value. We're creating the relationships. They will come back. They're going to get money for Christmas. They're going to get like, don't worry about, oh, am I going to get the sale? I'm not going to. Listen, this is totally normal. Nothing abnormal is happening right now. So you need to keep posting on your pages, keep posting in your doing reels and your stories, however you're doing it. Make sure you're adding value. Solve problems for people. 80% of your Facebook should be value adding right now. Your messages are encouraging, uplifting, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, like talk to people, do engaging posts. Like, are you a Christmas cookie person or not? Like, what do you guys do? Do you drink eggnog or not? Like, what is it? Hot chocolate eggnog. What's your house doing? Just be social and happy and add value. Don't sweat throwing sales, because what's going to happen is, and we don't want to fall into, they're going to tune you out because they've seen deals and specials for over 30 days now. We want to make sure that they're coming back to us like, oh, they've got good information. Oh, he posted that the other day. Or, hey, I saw they shared this, or this was in their story. Value, the relationship. Be a human. Be a human. Entertain, educate, inspire on your page. Don't fall into the pitfall of sale. Okay. Also, if you want to take an inventory of your Facebook page, go to your Facebook page and start scrolling. What does it look like? What are you seeing? If all you see is free resets and free this and free that and free this, go archive a couple of those posts. After you go to likes and write down everybody's names and the comments, and you write them on your list, go archive it. Don't delete it. Don't delete it. Just archive the post. It'll clean up your storefront. It's like when people go to your website, they go to your Facebook and they're like, oh, what do they have to offer? Oh, they share funny memes. Oh, it should be very clear of what you're sharing. If everything is Plexus and everything is free resets right now, your 80/20 is off. Just archive a couple. It's not a big deal. I do this all the time. The end of the month, things get wacky, right? End of the month, it goes from like 80/20 to like 100% sales. Like, here we go. So you have to go back and kind of clean up your storefront, archive some stuff, make it look more like you, less like sales. Okay. All right. So now we're shifting gears. So that was your weekly method of operation. If you feel like it's going to serve you, or you have somebody on your team, share that with them. Take your daily, turn it into a week, and keep your 80/20 adding value and your sales throughout your social media. Okay. Let's talk about goal setting. Okay. We are approaching the new year. Do not wait until January 1st to sit down and start thinking about your goals, because you want your goals to be already on the forefront. It's like, and I'll go back to Plexus real quick. This is like people that are like, I'm going to wait till January to start. And then they actually like don't get their products till January 10th. Like we've missed a solid 10 days of January. Order your products now so they come and you have them for January 1st, 2nd, we can get a fresh start, right? So anyway, start thinking about your goals now. Start setting them, because you want time to think about them. This is not something where you just like, oh, these are my goals. This is what I'm going to do. No, think about them in that quiet headspace and mull it over. Like, okay, I want to hit this rank. That's this much average income. What is that going to do for my family? What is that going to look like? What do I need to accomplish with my team to reach that goal? What do I personally need to do? I want you to think this stuff out and write it down. Write it down and start thinking about things that you want in 2025. something that I did the other day, and I was like, I'm going to do this just because I had time, and I was like kind of brain dumping, and I was like, I'm probably going to go back and write it like a second edition. I've heard people do this, and I was like, I really want to try this. I wrote a letter to myself that I will open December 2025. So I wrote the letter to myself as if everything that I wanted to happen in 2025 happened. And I like wrote it all down, and I'm like, I'm probably going to do a second edition, because then it really started to make me think even deeper than I did the original time. Like, what do I want come the end of 2025? What do I want to be like? This is what we accomplished. This is what we did. These are all the things that happened. And I think it's very important. And I have not always been good about writing down my goals, because I would venture to say, if I had everybody on mute right now and I would say, what are some wins that you had in 2024? Everyone on here would probably name something that happened in the last 3 to 6 months. Like, we totally forget about the first 6 months of the year, right? Because if it was a goal, we did it. We're like, oh, cool, great, move on. Like, next, right? And we like forget those little wins that meant so much in the moment, but we've kind of just like clouded over. If you write your goals down and save the paper, at the end of the year, you can actually go back and be like, look at everything I accomplished. Look at everything I did. And it's not like, oh, well, we did this and we hit that and we did. No, like I had 2 people earn a cruise with me. I earned the cruise. I had this many people go to convention. I had this point jump. I signed up this many people this month. That is good for your brain to remember all of those little tiny wins. I did an exercise one time on a call with Emily Roberts, and she was like, okay, I want you to take 1 minute and I want you to write down every good thing that's happened to you in Plexus, like every win you've had, every bit of success that you can think of. And I'm like writing, and I'm like, what else has it's been 7 years. Like, I'm like, what happened? Like, okay. And then she was naming something. I'm like, oh yeah, I did that. Like, totally forgot, because we just move on with some stuff. So when you're making your goals, write them down, save the paper, because you're going to revisit it at the end of the year and like, okay, what did I actually accomplish? If you can keep it in front of your face, that's even better. But I do want you guys to really think about writing yourself a letter, because I did that days ago, and I still I know it sounds crazy, but like, we talk about controlling our thoughts and our mind and all the things. Our brain doesn't know what's real and what's not. So my brain literally wrote out basically like, congratulations on blah, 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 blah. Hasn't it been so great that Eric has been working less and is home more? Can you even believe that you 10x'd your goal from 2024? My brain now doesn't realize that that's not real. Like, imagine just sitting down, writing a letter, and like, my brain thinks like when I was feeding the cows this morning, I'm walking up the gate, and I'm like literally comes into my head, like, what it's like to be a diamond. Like, this is great. Like, it's weird how you can hijack your brain, because it doesn't know that, Josh was talking about this, right? Like, you don't know if you're getting chased by a mountain lion or somebody just ghosted you. Like, it feels the same. So write out your goals. See what you want to do in 2025. What do I want to accomplish? And guys, listen, like, don't put a cap on yourself. Like, this business is the wonkiest thing ever, and it literally can turn around in 30 days. Like, blink of an eye. So don't cap yourself. If you were like, listen, I am brand new and I am signed up 3 people. I just went silver this month, and I want to be senior Ruby next year. Write it down. Like, are you really going to be upset when you're Ruby by the end of the year? No. Like, don't cap yourself. Write it down. And it's actually, they say scientifically, it's easier for your brain to work harder for a bigger goal than a smaller goal. So push yourself, write down what you want. What does that mean for you? You start making $5,000 a month with Plexus, that's $60,000 a year. What the heck are you going to do with $60,000 last year that you didn't have this year? Write it down. Talk about it. Put it in front of your face. So I want to encourage you guys. Go to your Facebook or your Instagram, whatever you're using. Take an inventory of like, what does that look like? What am I doing? Am I posting value? Am I being a human? Am I connecting? And then sit down and do your goals. Write them all down. And then write yourself a letter. Write yourself a letter that you're going to open December 2025, basically about how all of the things you accomplished in 2025. And then put it somewhere that you're not going to forget, because that was my next hurdle. Like, where is this thing going to go that I'm going to be able to find this thing in December 2025? That will be the next hurdle. I'll be like, I know I put that somewhere. And put it away and keep it. And really let your brain, those neural pathways of what you're writing and congratulating yourself on doing, let that be the story. Let that be the story you're attaching to all of your goals. And you're going to naturally start to figure out, how do I get there? So, well, I will not see you guys next week. Yes, that's a great idea, in the December of my planner. Man, see, keep her around. I will not see you guys. I'm sure I will talk to most of you before Christmas, but if not, have a Merry Christmas. Love you guys. See you in a couple weeks.